After running 2 laps, Muen felt that she couldn't hold on anymore. Her hair trembled slightly, as if indicating that she was already very tired. Muen slowly stopped and walked to the bench next to the training ground. She propped herself up on the ground with both hands and sat on it. She tightly closed her eyes and kept panting in her mouth. It seems that she is already exhausted. Due to her young age, her body is not yet able to adapt to long-distance running. She gasped for breath and spoke intermittently. Muen can't run anymore. At this moment, Anna walked over to Muen's side. She slowly squatted down and handed the pineapple juice that had been prepared early to Muen. She reached out and touched Muen's head, praising her with a smile. "Your Highness is already very impressive." Seeing Anna bring her favorite drink, Muen smiled happily. She took Anna's pineapple juice and drank it in big gulps. The sweet pineapple juice made her thirst slowly disappear. On the training ground, Muen and Roswitha are still running and have not decided who will be the winner. Waves of sand and dust were lifted up by their running movements. At this moment, Roswitha had gradually surpassed Muen and was running ahead of him. Anna lifted her head and looked at Muen and Roswitha, who were still running, and said to Muen, "Let's cheer for your Majesty and the King." Watching Roswitha running faster and faster, Muen began to gradually become nervous. He panted lightly and stared closely at the running figure of Roswitha. He silently said in his heart, "The Silver Dragon clan is born with speed as its advantage. I don't have much advantage in running a race with Roswitha. But since standing on the starting line, I have no way out." Suddenly, Muen also gradually increased his running speed and slowly ran ahead of Roswitha. He has accepted this running challenge, so he has no reason to give up on it. With the dignity of a dragon slayer, I absolutely cannot lose to her here. Muen furrowed his brow and glanced at Roswitha beside him. He doesn't want to lose to Roswitha like last time. "Ah!" Muen shouted loudly and crashed into Roswitha. He looked at her with an expression of not wanting to lose. Anyway, he wants to beat her. One of the tenets of the Dragon Slayer: born to fight, never give up until death. Roswitha also has no intention of giving up. She ran while also forcefully colliding with Muen. They are all racing forward at their own fastest speed. They are pressing each other, and neither wants the other to run faster than themselves. The sun is slowly setting. The sunlight of the setting sun shone on the training ground. It seems that it also wants to watch the match between Muen and Roswitha. 20 minutes later, the running competition finally came to an end. Muen opened his arms and lay exhausted on the ground. He closed his eyes and kept panting in his mouth. He was so exhausted that he couldn't utter a single word or even stand up for the moment. It seems that he exerted all his strength to run forward in order to defeat Roswitha. At this moment, Roswitha walked over to Muen's side. She doesn't seem as tired as Muen and is very energetic. Seeing Muen, who was already too tired to stand up, she found it very interesting She bent down slightly to look at him and asked him, "Do you concede?" Leon cannot directly admit that he has lost. He gasped for breath while speaking intermittently. "No, no." Upon hearing Leon's answer, Roswitha chuckled lightly at him a few times. She gave a mocking smile and said to him, "No? Okay. Do you want to get up and continue running?" She lifted her hand and lifted a tuft of hair behind her ear. As she moved, her twin peaks also trembled slightly a few times. She finds Leon's current appearance quite ridiculous. Just now, Leon vowed to defeat her, but now he is lying on the ground and can't stand up. It seems that Roswitha won the running race because he ran with all his strength. Leon had some sweat running down his face. He furrowed his brow, feeling dissatisfied with Roswitha's words. He doesn't believe that his ability is limited to this. He was panting while lifting his hand to wipe away the sweat from his face. He made a request to Roswitha. "Give me 2 days of practice time. I'm sure I can defeat you." Roswitha crouched down and placed her face on her right hand, watching Leon with interest. With his human body, he may not even be able to reach the level of Roswitha. She wagged her tail with joy and mocked Leon. 2 days is not enough. I don't think you can do it for another 2 years. Leon felt a little angry about Roswitha's provocation. He looked at her with dissatisfied eyes and shouted loudly, "Who said I couldn't do it?" Roswitha approached Leon and poked his face with her tail. Leon looked at her with an unhappy expression. Although Roswitha teased him with her tail, he didn't have the strength to slap her tail away. At this moment, she gave a mischievous smile and said to him, "So, Mr. Leon, our defeated opponent, can you perform now?" "I love bath time. It keeps me fine." Upon hearing what Roswitha said, Leon instantly felt speechless. He didn't expect her to still remember his joke from that night. This competition is probably also the revenge of Roswitha on him. For the sake of that joke, besides bullying his body fiercely all night, Roswitha also used this competition to mock him. Leon propped his hands on the ground and immediately sat up. He turned his head and angrily said to Roswitha, "If you hold grudges like this, you will definitely suffer a big loss." Roswitha turned her back to Leon and walked away from him. Because she was able to retaliate against Leon in this running competition, she felt very happy at this moment. She smiled and said with a relaxed tone, "Thanks, I'm good at holding grudges." Roswitha raised her hand and waved to Muen, gesturing for her to walk over here. She said to Muen, "Muen, Dad is so weak. Mom will continue to accompany you for other exercises." Upon hearing her mother calling out to her, Muen ran towards Roswitha with a light and agile pace. She is very happy that Roswitha can exercise with her. She said excitedly, "Yeah, Mom, wait for me." Muen ran as fast as possible to Roswitha's side. Roswitha took Muen's hand and walked towards the other side of the training ground. At this moment, Muen remembered that there was one more thing he hadn't told Leon. She turned her head and encouraged Leon with a happy expression on her face. Dad's body is too weak. You need to exercise more. Huh? Upon hearing what Muen said, Leon froze in place. He couldn't say a word for a moment. Muen's words shattered his heart like a bolt of lightning. He didn't expect even Muen to think that his physical condition was very poor. This made him feel that his image in front of Muen had been ruined. Leon thinks that Muen is looking down on him. He showed an angry expression and raised his fist in great excitement. He shouted loudly at their departing backs. Fortune ebbs and flows. Don't underestimate your dad's body. Roswitha gently took Muen's hand and walked ahead. She smiled and chatted happily with Muen as she walked. Muen looked up at Roswitha and excitedly chatted with her about what to do next. They all seemed to pretend not to hear Leon's angry words towards them.
Hi! Pineapple has a good news to tell you. My app Lullaby can now be downloaded on the App Store and Google Play. You can search for Lullaby Light Novel in the search bar to find the app. After downloading the app, you can read our exclusive novels and comics more easily on your mobile phone. If you are interested, you can download Lullaby from the App Store and Google Play.